is Mike Mayo. Some of you might know me. I'm a UMD student, a delegate to this convention, state central committee member, local activist. I helped organize March for Our Lives Duluth, and I'm also co-chair of Our Revolution Duluth. I'm here because I'm fired up about Leah because she brings an inspiring, new, progressive voice to our party, and it's about time that we elect a female to represent us as our next Congresswoman.
My name is Nevada Little Wolf, and I'm a citizen of the Leech Lake Nation and also a proud Iron Ranger. I am supporting Leah because she knows that real security means access to safe and affordable housing, health care, education, and child care. And she is going to represent all of us, this whole district, and that's why I'm supporting her.
I'm Lisa Radosevich-Craig, and I work for Senator Paul Wellstone in his Northern Minnesota office in Virginia as his Northern Minnesota director. Leah Phifer is the first candidate who has excited me since Paul has died. I'm just so excited she's in the race. She's hardworking, she's bright, she's energetic, compassionate, and tough. And I'm supporting Leah Phifer because she has our democratic values as her core. Looking at what differentiates Leah from other candidates, when Nolan was deciding his options, she took to her motorcycle and she came and visited everybody. She went all over the district. She's a hard worker. She's working day in and day out to build the party. And she'll continue to build the party, bringing new people into the fold and ensure a blue wave in November. I like that she's smart, she'll fight, and she'll organize. She'll do that for us in Congress. She's a leader. She's the best candidate that can beat Pete Stauber, and I could go on and on. But my last second, I'm just going to say, let's come together, endorse Leah, so we can all start fighting against the Republican agenda.
Hello, I'm Dan Fanning from here in Duluth. We are fortunate to have several good candidates. We've already heard from a couple of them. I'll tell you why I believe Leah is our best candidate. I'm more convinced than ever that Leah is our best candidate because for many, many reasons. But last night, some of our troops bombed Syria. And regardless of how you may feel about that, it shows how important it is we send somebody to Congress who understands the magnitude of national security and other issues. And I'm more convinced than ever, as a veteran myself, as a combat veteran, that we can't be messing around with war unless we have people in Congress who will stand up to our president and will fight for our troops. The more I've learned about Leah, the more convinced I am she's who we need to fight for our troops, to fight for our environment, to fight for our progressive values, to fight for all of us in the 8th District. It is an honor to introduce to you the next Congresswoman for the fighting 8th District, Leah Phifer.
And thank you to every delegate, every alternate, every visitor, everyone who is here today to help make our DFL process happen. And thank you to Nevada, Lisa, Mike, and Dan for that wonderful introduction. I wanted to share a few numbers with you today. 380. That's the number of seconds it took for a gunman to murder 17 children in Parkland, Florida. 43,000. That's the approximate number of people living below the poverty line in our district. 1.3 million. The number of immigrants that could be forced out of this country if Congress doesn't find a solution for DACA. And 24, the number of seats that Republicans control the House by. Those numbers need to change. And if you help send me to DC, I will fight every day to make sure those numbers change. By now, you know my resume. You know I grew up down the road in Two Harbors. I live in Isanti. I have a master's of public policy, and I spent 10 years working in the federal government, seeing every day how the laws that Congress writes affect our families, our communities, and our most vulnerable members of our population. You know that I left my job last May after President Trump fired my boss, Jim Comey, because I could no longer sit in my office in Minnesota when the greatest threat to our national security is sitting in the Oval Office in DC. resume again. What I'm here to tell you today is why I want to be your congresswoman, how much I believe in all of you, and how much I believe in the values of the DFL. The DFL is the party that fights for our safety and well-being. We are the party that believes in economic justice. And in Congress, I will lead the fight for $15 an hour minimum wage. I will protect our pensions. I will fight for a social safety net that includes affordable health care and affordable child care, making sure that everyone is able to put food on their table and a roof over their head, and protect our right to collective bargaining. So where are the Republican values on economic justice? Well, the Republicans tend to believe you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps or die trying. In their world, equity is only something that the deserving can have, i.e., those who can afford it. We need to make sure that equal access to health care, education, the right to put food on your table and a roof over your head is something that all Americans can achieve, not just those who can afford it. The Republicans do not have a plan to address the systemic inequities in our country, but the DFL does. Because we believe in human rights. We believe in the inherent goodness and dignity of every person. And you know what? Healthcare is a human right. Owning an AR-15 is not. In Congress, I will lead the fight for Medicare for all and sensible gun control, because we need to make sure we are keeping the most vulnerable of our populations protected. Where do our president and the GOP candidates stand on human rights? Well, President Trump defends the violence of white supremacy, and our GOP candidate wants to help him build his border wall so we can further marginalize our Latinx communities. We need to make sure that Pete Stauber gets nowhere near this seat, and I will make sure that that never happens. The DFL is the party that believes in protecting our environment. And if you send me to Congress, I will lead the fight to protect our treaty rights as the supreme law of the land. I will make sure we pass carbon fee and dividend legislation. We treat climate change with the same resources and urgency that we treat other national security threats. And we will never let the greed of corporations trump the sovereignty and livelihoods of our Native American communities. And I promise you that. So I believe in you and I believe in the DFL because we are the party of the values that truly keep us safe. And my vision is rooted in those values. But it takes more than vision to make the changes we need. We need to send someone to DC who shares our courage and our work ethic. My dad spent 30 years working on the trains at North Shore Mining. It was hard, it was dirty, and he lost his hearing from all the taconite crashing into cars every day. So when I got my first job in government, I didn't go into a plush desk job. I went where it was hard. I went to go work in a detention center for undocumented immigrants, to stand with some of our most vulnerable members of our communities, to be their voice and to let them know they're not alone. If you send me to DC, you won't find me in a plush corner office. You will find me where I have been every day for 10 years, standing shoulder to shoulder with our most vulnerable communities to let them know they're not alone. And I'm asking your support today to make sure that we send someone to DC who will not only stand up to the most corrupt administration we have ever seen, but will also go to the dark, difficult places, to stand shoulder to shoulder with our most vulnerable communities and make sure that we can promote our DFL values in DC.
And the required question, yes or no answer only. Will you suspend your campaign if someone other than you is endorsed by this convention?
Absolutely.